Okay, so let's continue our content today. We will finish chapter 2, go to chapter 3. So remember, this is the last thing we've done from last week. So last week, we finished this table, trial balance 试算表, right? So what's our purpose for trial balance 试算表? Double check, right? So after we've done generalizing 做分录 on your first book, journal. Then we post to our second book, ledger. Post to 过账 to our second book, ledger, T account 分类账, right? So after we finish 2 accounting books, we want to make sure every step we've done are correct, right? So that's why we need to double check whether all the numbers we got may be correct. How to measure may be correct? You copied the numbers from second book, right? So after we copy the numbers from second book, don't forget, total debit equal to total credit, right? All the numbers you have on your left hand should be the number you have on your right hand, right? So after we've done this, then maybe you can say, okay, maybe I did the right thing. Why is maybe? Because nothing is 100%, right? So we never can guarantee anything 100%. So here tell you maybe. Then why is maybe? Sometimes you find out total debit equal to total credit. Sometimes still you did something wrong. Okay, so here we give you some cases why total debit equal to total credit, you still did something wrong because the number is not this number. Because some students give me the number maybe this number. Okay, so you got total debit equal to total credit, but still it's not correct because the correct number should be $28,700. Okay, so what kind of cases we have make you have this kind of situation? Okay, so please go to your slide on page 75, your textbook 2-23. Okay, here give you 5 cases. If you made a mistake from one of them, still you will not get the correct number. Okay, so first case, transactions not generalized. What does it mean? Generalized. Do you know when we do this kind of step? Generalized means we write down the transaction on first accounting book journal, right? So we call it generalized 做分录. Remember that? So when we want to record the transactions on our first accounting book, we use generalized 做分录. Okay, so first mistake is you have 10 transactions, but you forgot to record maybe 2 transactions. So you only record 8 transactions, right? So when you record 8 transactions, still you will get total debit equal to total credit, okay? But the problem is you forgot you missed 2 transactions, okay? So they will make you get wrong number. Any questions? So there's a first maybe mistake you will do, okay? So how about second case? Correct journal entry. Correct journal entry. Remember, what does it mean, journal entry? One journal entry for one transaction, right? So still, this is for your first accounting book. Journal entry 分录, right? So one journal entry for one transaction. correct journal entry. So you are correct. You're right on your first step. So when you look at your first accounting book, no problem. But one mistake you made, not post it. Remember? Some of you made a mistake last week, right? So you forgot to post or you post it incorrectly. So not post it. So post it, 过账, right? So this is for your second book, right? So you made a mistake on step 2, right? You write down 10 transactions correctly on your first accounting book. But when you want to post to your second book, then you made a mistake. Okay? So your first book correct, your second book is not correct. Still, you will get total debit equal to total credit with wrong number. Okay? So 1 and 2 is quite common. Sometimes when you take the quiz or when you take a midterm exam, you will find out some students will make a mistake. When I do that, I post to wrong side. When I do that, I forgot one transaction. Okay? Any questions? No problem? Third, post it twice. So the mistake you made on which book? Second book, right? Post twice is opposite to case 1 and 2. Post twice means 10 transactions. Then you record more than 10 transactions, right? One transaction, you do it twice. So you will double the numbers amount, right? Okay. So you still made a mistake. Post it for your second book. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, case 1, 2, 3. When you do the journalizing on your first accounting book, post to your ledger T account, your second accounting book. Sometimes you will miss some transactions. You forgot to record some transactions. Sometimes you record it twice, okay? So you doubled the numbers. Okay? Any questions? No problem? Fourth mistake you made is what? Incorrect account. Did you make a mistake this first quiz? Incorrect account. You use the wrong name. So incorrect account. For example, you are Jane, Ruby. See, use the wrong name. So sometimes it will make a mistake because you two look so beauteous and look alike. Okay, so sometimes you do that, and let you check this case. Debit equipment $10. Credit accounts receivable $10. Could you tell me? You don't need to do anything. Just look at the journal entry. Did you make any mistake? Debit equipment. Credit accounts receivable. Did you make any mistake? Debit equipment means what? Your equipment increase or decrease? Asset on debit side means increase. Okay? Accounts receivable on credit side means accounts receivable is your assets, means customer owe you money. So usually assets, accounts receivable on credit side means decrease. Could you tell me what kind of transaction it is? Could you explain the transaction? You got the equipment. At the same time, the money customer owe you decrease. What does it mean? Could you explain the transaction? You cannot, right? So sometimes when you look at the journal entry, you have to double check. It makes sense or not. Okay, so for this, it doesn't make sense because what does it mean? Customer accounts receivable decrease, the money customer owe decrease, at the same time equipment increase. So usually you made a mistake, right? So it's better you double check. Actually, I guess what's wrong? This account. You used incorrect account. Let you guess what maybe is correct account. Cash or notes payable. Why? You pay the cash to buy equipment or you borrow money, you owe the money to buy equipment. Okay? So you should double check whether it makes sense or not. Okay? So for this, when I look at the journal entry, I know accounts receivable should be round. Maybe correct. Account should be cash or notes payable. Okay, any questions? It's quite common. Sometimes you will make a mistake to get the wrong account. Okay? Any questions? No problem? Okay. Hmm. Okay. Last one. Offset errors means what? You made a two mistake. So did you find out if one mistake will conceal your another mistake? So wrong become correct. 负负得正. Okay? So they still will make you get correct total debit equal to total credit. Okay? So offset errors means you made a two mistake. So these two mistakes will cancel each others. Okay? So two errors, they will 负负得正 cancel each other. Oh. 负负得正 means wrong become correct. Okay, so two errors cancel each other, so you still got total AC equal to total credit. But you should understand, you still made a mistake. Okay, any questions? So here just give you a couple cases to let you understand. Even though total debit equal to total credit, it doesn't mean you are 100% correct. Okay, nothing for free. Nothing is 100%. So you should be careful, especially when we talk about finance and counting. There's money. So $1, $2, $3. You should be very careful. Okay, any questions? No problem? Then we talk about last thing. Last thing is about the format. When you write down some transactions, we give you the format. The format just want to make it look clear. Okay, so one is about dollar sign. When we use the dollar sign, currency sign, for your first book, second book, you don't need it. So for your first book, journal, second book, ledger T account, you don't need dollar sign. So did you find out? When I write down first book journal, did I write down? Have I write down any dollar sign? No, I don't. Okay, so first book, you don't need to write down dollar sign, currency sign, okay? For your second book, also, you don't need to write down dollar sign, currency sign. Why? We want to make it simple because these two accounting books, we only use it for insiders, for companies, ourselves. We won't provide these two accounting books to outsiders, okay? So since it is not formal format, we don't provide these two accounting books to outsiders. So we don't need to care about two details for the dollar sign because only for us use only, okay? So we want to make the format clear. When you put down the dollar sign, you will make it more complicated and ugly. For example, you can use it. It doesn't matter, but you will make it look more complicated and ugly. That's why we don't want to use dollar sign because we want to make it look more clear, simple. Okay? So for your first book, second book, you don't need to do that. If you want to do that, nothing wrong. Okay? But just tell you we prefer not to use it. Okay? For your trial balance and financial statements, we use dollar sign. Why? Because financial statements, remember, is the only accounting products we provide to everyone, right? So it should be for official. So when it should be officially, seriously, so we will put dollar sign, okay? So for trial balance, for financial statements, we will put the dollar sign, okay? But don't worry, we put a dollar sign only for first number and last number. So did you find out here? When I prepare trial balance, I put on the number on where? First number, last number. First number, last number. All the number in between, we don't put dollar sign. Why? Make it look simple. What if I put a dollar sign? You have so many money. Dollar, 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 dollar. See? It look more complicated. Okay? So nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. But we just make it simple. Okay? So when you put a number, the dollar sign only first and last one. Okay? Any questions? No problem? Okay, how about underline? Underline, we have only single line or double underline. Single line means what? Means you tell them any number above the single line. We want to do the math. We want to do the math. So for example, I got the number $10, $5, $6, $12. Okay? So when I draw a single line, it means what? Means I'm going to do the math for any numbers above the single line. Okay? So how many numbers I have? 10 plus 5 plus 6 plus 12. So should be, sorry, 23? Oh, 33. Okay? 33. See? My math so bad. So don't worry about your math. So 33. Okay? 33. I'm really bad at number. 33. Did you find out? I used to put $sign for first number and last number. Okay? I draw single line. Means I'll do the math for all the numbers above single line. Then after I finish, I got the last number. I used to draw double underline. Oh. Again, 10, 5, 6, 12, 33. When I finish the last number, I used to draw double underline. Tell them, okay, this is my final number. So when you have a quiz or when you have a midterm exam, you got the final number, then you draw double underline. Actually, we know this is your final answer. So we use to find out double underline. Then we know this is your final answer, and I will look at your final answer to see if you got the correct answer or not. Okay? So this is a couple small things to let you know. We used to do that. Any questions? So if I look at your quiz paper, midterm paper, I will look at this number. Okay, 33. Yeah, it's correct. Okay? Any questions? No? No problem? Okay, so we finished chapter 2 already. So are you ready? Go to chapter 3. No? Are you ready? Chapter 3 is a little bit more difficult than chapter 1 and 2. So you should be ready because chapter 3 usually when you learn chapter 1 and 2, you think, okay, it's smoothly, it's okay. But when we go to chapter 3, sometimes you need more time to think about it because it's not that smoothly. You have to use your logic to think about, oh, it's a little bit different. You should change your mindset a little bit. Okay? So chapter 3 is a little bit, is a small bump. Small bump. 小面包 Do you know? Okay, autobahn 不是会经过小面包吗？嘣。Okay, so please go to chapter 3. It's on your portal already. If you need the file, it's on portal. You can download it from the portal. Slides for chapter 3. Okay, so chapter 3, did you find out adjusting the account? So what's our purpose for chapter 3? Adjusting, 调整. Then when we have a chapter 3 today, when we need to do the things, the jobs in chapter 3. Chapter 3, right now, today. Which day is today for chapter 3? The last day. So chapter 3, we talk about the last day. So the end of accounting period. So remember, chapter 3, we talk about last day. 期末 The end of accounting period. So you should know which day you are today, which day you are, last day, okay? So we talk about the last day. What kind of things you have to do the last day? Okay? So the last day, what kind of things we have to do? Before we tell you what kind of things you have to do, you should understand two concepts. After you understand two concepts, then you will understand why we need to do that on the last day. Okay? So the two concepts, first one is what? Time period assumption, 会计期间假设 time period assumption. Time period assumption, 会计期间假设 You know, about the time. Time is continuously, right? So could you cut any point on the time? Impossible. Why? Because the time continuously pass by. Could you cut it into any point? Impossible. But we try to do that. Why? Because, see, we tell you one day is 24 hours, right? Who told you one day is 24 hours? Why cannot one day is 36 hours? Why cannot? We can, right? We cannot. We can, right? Because what? Because 24 hours is our human set. One day is 24 hours, right? Who told you 1 year is 365 days? Who told you? We told you, right? Could you change it to 400 days for 1 hour? For 1 year? Yes, we could. Because that's the human we set the period, right? So usually for naturally time is continuously, you cannot cut it into any period. But for human, for our people, we cut it into periods. We told you 1 day, 24 hours. We told you 1 month, 30 days. We told you 1 year, 365 days, right? Why? Because we need each period to see the situations during the period. For example, for companies, usually, which point you could figure out the company is good company or bad company, the apple is good or bad. For people, usually, when you could tell us it's good person or bad person, usually when. Always they told you when you can say you are good person or bad person. Elaine, when? Usually when? Until the moment you die, right? So until the moment you died, you can look back to your whole life and see if you are the good person or bad person. So you should wait for how long? Whole life. For company, could you wait for the company's whole life to see it's good apple or bad apple? Impossible. So that's why we cut the time into periods, 1 month, 1 quarter, 1 year. So this are artificial. Okay, that's our people, our human, we do that. So it's artificial because we want to look the situations during each period. Okay, so this is time period assumption. So what does it mean? Time period assumption. It means human, us, we divide the time into each periods. So the time periods is artificial. Okay. Because we want to look the situation during each period. So we do that. So after 1 year, we told you 1 year, 365 days. So after 1 year, you can look back. Okay, in 2023, if I do well or not. Next year, I hope next year I want to do something. Okay? So this time period assumption. Any questions? We divide the time we divide the time into different periods artificially. So the time period could be 1 month, could be 1 quarter, could be 1 year. So your time periods could be 1 month, 1 quarter, 1 year. Then we will look at each period to see is good apple or bad apple. We could look at each period to see if you did well or not. Okay, any questions? Okay. So for 1 month, 1 quarter, 1 year, if we talk about monthly, quarterly, it means less than 1 year. Less than 1 year. We usually call it interim period. 其中期间 interim period. When we talk about the period less than 1 year. Okay, how about 1 year? For 1 year, we have calendar year and fiscal year. Calendar year and fiscal year. When we talk about 1 year, then we can call it calendar year or fiscal year. What's the difference? The difference is which day is your first day? Which day is your first day? Minnie, which day is your first day? Huh? May 4 is your first day. Not birthday, first day. Ah, yeah. Could be your first day. If you think about your first day is your birthday. But we talk about the usually for human, for people, for the life you live. Usually first day is what's your first day? First day is January 1st, right? Okay. So our first day is January 1st, we call it calendar year. Okay? Calendar year. First day. So what is your last day? December 31st. Okay? How about fiscal year? Fiscal year, your first day could be any day except January 1st. Okay? So your first day could be any day, but not January 1st. Okay? Could be any day. Like an Apple company. Apple company told you they use fiscal year. So which day is Apple company's first day? Let me check. When I look at Apple company's financial statements, then it told me where? Oh, here. Fiscal year ending September 30. So did you find out? Apple company told you which day is their first day. Fiscal year ending September 30. Okay? So its first day should be last year, October 1st. Okay? How about college? Do you know? For our college, for Taiwan, the college in Taiwan, first day is which day? Our school. First day is which day? Dun, 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 dun. The answer is August 1st. August 1st. So from August 1st to next year, July 31st. That's a whole year. So have you heard about calendar year? Calendar year. Do you know calendar year? Sorry, not calendar year. Academic year. Academic year. 学年度. So what's your academic year? What's yours? 113. So do you know you got into the school is this year? This year is 113. So your calendar year is 113. So when we talk about calendar year 113, we start from 113 August 1st to next year. Okay? So that's a school's year. Yeah, correct. Okay. Any questions? So here just told you, actually, when we talk about first day, you could have a different answers. Not only January 1st is the answer, okay? So here just told you different answers for first day. So for companies, Taiwan's companies, usually first date is January 1st. But when you talk about the companies from America, United States, usually the first date is not January 1st. Okay, so you should be very careful. Why's that? When we want to collect the data, you should understand which day is the first day, which day is the last day. For example, I want to collect your data. I want to know your scores for first year. I should collect the data from this period, then to average all of your scores and told you, hey, this is your performance for your first year. Okay? So you know which day is first day, which day is the last day is quite important when you want to collect the data. You should understand. You should collect the data from which period. Okay? Any questions? No? Okay. So let's go to here on your slide, page 6, textbook 3-3. Okay, so you understand calendar year? Your first day is January 1st. How about your fiscal year? Any date except January 1st. Okay, so any day except January 1st. No problem? Okay. And go back to accounting, we prepare financial statements, right? So for this time periods, we have 1 month, 1 quarter, 1 year. But for accounting, when we are going to prepare financial statements, we have right now only quarterly, annually. We don't have monthly financial statements, okay? So when you look at Apple company's financial statements, you want to find out Apple is good or bad apples. You could only find out quarterly and annually. for 1 quarter, for 1 year, but you cannot find out 1 month. Why? Because accounting, we have so many jobs have to do. For accounting, impossible. We could finish it within shorter time. Okay, so monthly so far when we use our when we use accountants to do that, accountants people to do that, quite hard to do that. But in the future, this will happen. Why? We have an AI. So AI could do the dirty jobs for us. So you should be very careful for what? Routine jobs. We can use the AI. So what's your value? Your value is not on routine jobs. Your value is on logical thinking. Okay? So don't worry about whether your job will be replaced by AI if your job is not routine jobs. Okay? So monthly so far we cannot because we still use the people to do that. So quite hard we could do that. But in the future I believe we could do that. Maybe daily financial statements. Okay? So here just let you understand what you want to double check. Want to look at, find out Apple's financial statements. You don't need to find out monthly. Impossible. Okay? Could you tell me 1 quarter, how many months is? 1 quarter, how many months is? 4? Guess it? You guess it? You are not sure? I thought everyone know 1 quarter how many months is. I thought until last year, because someone told me 1 quarter is how many months is. Meaning, do you know my answer? My question? 1 quarter? Yeah, I repeat again. 1 quarter, how many months is? One quarter, how many months is? Amber. Amber. 1 quarter, how many months is? I'm curious. That's not accounting. How many quarters we have for 1 year? Spring, summer, fall, winter, 春夏秋冬. So 1 year, how many quarters? 4 quarters. So 1 quarter, how many months is? 3 months is. Okay, take a break.